Happy Thursday. It's Therapy Thursday. Come on into the room. Can't wait for you to come in. How are you doing? I am excited to share my trip with you. I am so excited. Hi, Amithia. I am listening to some Dominican calypsos. This is carnival season in Dominica, and the calypso is the main feature. The calypso in the Caribbean is the main feature. And so I'm listening to one of the calypsos that my best girlfriend thought I would really like. It's called Cocoa Sticks. It's called Cocoa Sticks. Have you heard it? I do not own the rights to the music, please. This is on YouTube by Sean Entertainment. Sean Entertainment does a good job every year of recording the calypsos and, putting it out there on YouTube. So those of us who are not there can really hear. So calypsos have a lot of double meaning. Do you know what Cocoa Sticks is about? If you know, type it in the chat. Cocoa Sticks. She talks about how terrible and hard things are in the country, I suppose. And she says she's had to resort to selling cocoa sticks. She tried selling pepper burns. Accra is not selling. Once she started advertising her cocoa sticks, she cannot stop selling cocoa sticks, honey. Okay? Hi, Jacqueline. You're in? Cocoa for sale. Hi, Mensma. Happy Thursday. It's Therapy Thursday. Cocoa for sale, y'all. Anybody has cocoa for sale? Hi, Brenda. Look, my cocoa, my cocoa is in the cabinet. I have cocoa in my cabinet. Hi, Mensma. Her name is Mystery, by the way. So listen for Mystery this year. Hi, Valley. Oula, eh? Oula. Bonsoir. Ça va fait? Ça va fait tout Dominique? Qui moun ki ka vend cocoa sticks as faire? Cocoa sticks moi cabinet moi. My cocoa sticks are in my cabinet. So yes, y'all. Clear my throat. Welcome to Therapy Thursday. And I just want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart to all those of you who came with me, because it does feel as if you're there with me and you're coming with me. So it's like I'm not alone. And when we were in Dominica, the kids felt the same way. So I appreciate you taking your time. There's so much stuff you could be watching. There's so much stuff you could be doing. You've got work to do. And, sometimes you come on and you look at the videos or the pictures that I post. So you all know that last year in the summer, my kids and I, we went to Dominica. And we chose to go to Dominica because the kids had suddenly lost their dad on Mother's Day. And we thought, let's go just kind of spend some time in nature, spend some time having fun, to help them reset, to help them refocus, get, release some stuff and kind of get their footing. And so this December, when my fiance passed away suddenly too, because traveling is something he and I did a lot of, I knew I had to travel again. But also because of the experience of the summer and how positive it was for me personally, I understand how travel and getting into a different place, how doing something really radical and different can help your brain to shift and reset, even though your body and your heart and your mind isn't ready yet. So my daughter was going to come with me to Jamaica, but she backed out. She was afraid of Omicron. And so I ended up going alone, which I think was actually the way it was supposed to be, because I needed to do it alone. So tonight I'm sharing my top 5 lessons, and I'm answering a few more questions that sort of popped up on the trip. And if you have any questions for me, feel free to type it in the chat. So I'll tell you what, my first observation, my first lesson, my first insight is that Jamaica is a giant theme park. Like, what came to my mind, for those of you who've been to Canada, the first time I went to Canada, my sister Maggie took us to Canada's Wonderland. And there was this to do and that to do and this to do and that to do. And you know, you come from a little village and my mind was blown, right? Because all of it was just fun. That's the feeling I got in Jamaica. Like, just beautiful sightseeing. You all saw the water. The water is just blue and beautiful. There's a lot of rich history in Jamaica. Another thing I noticed was that the people are very industrious and proud of their country. They're also very artistic. And a lot, you see Jamaica, 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 everywhere you go. So it's hard to, you come in and you almost come into the culture because it is all around you. And I really appreciated that. Everybody has their hustle. Everybody has their hustle. They're not shy about requesting, well, not requesting, but suggesting to you or gently encouraging you as the tourist to leave a tip. I think in Dominica, maybe culturally we're more shy. Or we would say we have West Bay May. So we're more circuitous. You know, we won't directly urge you. We might just smile at you a lot. So they might say things like, if you enjoyed your tour with us, that's the word, Vanessa. We're more modest. Yeah, we're more modest, and you know, we wait a lot before maybe taking initiative. I think it feels uncomfortable. I know it feels uncomfortable for me. It took me a long time in my life, in my business life, to be completely okay receiving payments. So I understand that feeling. But they might say things to you like 5 minutes, 10 minutes before the tour ended. They might say something like, well, if you enjoyed your tour with your guide, feel free to leave a tip to show your appreciation. And there was no pressure, but there was pressure. It was psychological priming, right? And prompting. And that's a beautiful way to communicate to your tourists who leave their country coming with money to spend, if they have an extra 10 or 20, whatever, to leave it with you. So I really appreciated that. And I think that's you know, a model that could nicely be followed on many of the other islands. Because again, a tourist comes to enjoy and experience and to share. So they want to show their appreciation. Here's another big thing I noticed, and it's regarding pictures and photographs. So everywhere I went, you can take your pictures, you can take photos, but sometimes up to a point or up to a certain part of the site. So there was always a professional photographer on hand somewhere who didn't seem like they were necessarily working for the park. They might have been an independent person, but there was always somebody there who was taking photographs. But there were often places where you couldn't bring your cell phone, or your phone had to be off, so that you, as the person who wanted to capture your memories, you would, the person would be taking as many pictures as possible. And then at the end, again, no pressure. It's just like, hey, if you want pictures, go over there. Now, many people want to capture pictures of their vacation, so they do it. So again, no pressure, just psychological priming. And it's very effective because very few of us like people to tell us what to do with our money. So every park and every activity I participated in, especially the parks, everyone had an entrance fee. Everyone has an entrance fee. And of course, there's a difference in price for the local people, but I think it's a fabulous idea to maintain the parks. I'm not sure that we have an entrance fee for the Boiling Lake, which is one of the wonders of the world. I don't know that we do. But that helps, of course, to maintain the parks, to keep it looking, in tip-top shape. I think that's an excellent idea. You all already saw some of what I posted about the river rafting. You saw the river rafting with the bamboo. There's so much bamboo in Dominica. And in addition to bamboo, I remember that floating wood that the guys would just peel the bark off the wood and make rafts. They would make pipui is what we called it. And so see how awesome that ride was. That was one of my most beautiful experiences there. Going down that little river, just chilling, other people passing by, and a little jelly coconut, which is so rampant. Everybody has coconuts and jelly, and a little piece of cane. And I felt like I was being so well cared for with a little piece of coconut and a little jelly on a bamboo raft. So in my head, what did I see? I saw all the jetty boys. I saw all the guys, all the, fellas in Portsmouth on Indian River. Because Indian River is, I don't know what the depth is of Indian River, but I can absolutely see that activity. In addition to, I know boats go up the river. It's just a different experience. Good evening. Hi, Margaret and Richard. Hi, Mr. White. How are you? And Madonna. How are you? Welcome. Thanks for coming to share my Therapy Thursday with me and my travel therapy observations and lessons. Yeah. So talk about hustle. When we left the rafting, coming up out the rafting, there's this little lady out there and a couple dudes with their one pot. I bought a little bowl of chicken foot, red bean soup. I don't like chicken feet. A lot of my relatives do. I can't. Do you like chicken feet? If you like chicken feet, let me know, because I don't like it. But I like the flavor. I like the flavor. So the soup was excellent, and it was hot, and after going up and down, you were like, yeah, let me grab something. So there's this little lady making her money too, and I thought that was just excellent. It just feels to me like everybody's got their hustle, and everybody's kind of like, this is my corner, this is your corner, this is your specialization, this is mine. So the guy who rode me down, who took me down, he's doing his thing, and the lady cooking her food is doing her thing, and the taxi driver is doing his thing, but he connects to whomever, and it felt really, really organized. And I appreciated their hustle, like I say. Vanessa, you say, what's there to eat? I know, they just look like, they just, look, Desi says, chicken foot sauce is delicious. Oh, no. And Jacqueline, you're with me, Jacqueline? No way. Armithia, you said when you were a kid, your mom cooked chicken feet and you ate them. You've never cooked them. Look, I will never cook them. I will never cook them. It's gross. It even looks gross. I took a picture. I might post a picture of it for you all. It's just like, ah! Yes. So, but the soup tasted great. Okay. So overall, Dominica has many more natural sites to visit, it seemed to me. Although I was just on one side, okay? But yeah, Dominica, there's no way you can get to the number of sites Dominica has to visit, natural sites. But the Jamaica tourism product itself is on point. What I missed that I really wanted to do were two things. I wanted to go to do horseback riding. And I also wanted to go visit the Maroon Village. So you all know Maroons were captured Africans who were brought down to the Caribbean to work for free on plantations, who said, forget about this. This is not my life. Who ran up into the mountains and made their own villages and refused to work for free, who would kill or be killed before they worked for free. So there's a Maroon Village close enough to where I was that one of my drivers was going to take me to, but I just didn't have enough time. But I wished I could have gone to go see it. Yes, Rosamond, you said that in Antigua it's called foul foot. Yes. But people, make the soup as well. People make the soup all over the Caribbean. I think one of my nieces, when she got married, she had foul foot, in there. It's supposed to bring you good luck. You know how our grandparents used to tell us all sorts of stories so we would eat their food. That's what I think that one is. Okay, so that's my number one lesson. Number two lesson. Men in our lives are like umbrellas. What do I mean by that? I missed camps a lot on the trip for some of these things, like a sense of protection. A sense of protection. So, honestly, I think I've taken that for granted to some degree. But maybe it's because I just never really paid attention to it. Yeah? I feel men make navigating life a lot easier. So the first place I saw it was, here I am, I'm walking into the plane and I have my suitcase, and you got to put your suitcase overhead. I haven't had to put my suitcase overhead in a long time. So I was like, oh, Lord, I'm going to break my shoulder, And nobody's stepping up to say, let them give you a little help. So, yeah, I was like, yeah, I do appreciate some strong shoulders. I think the men in our lives, they shield us from a lot of buffoonery and nonsense that, pardon me, guys, that many humans with penises are sometimes guilty of. So I never felt unsafe. But there were times when I felt annoyed with people who wouldn't, take a hint, or who wouldn't listen, or they were saying too much or doing too much. And I haven't felt that feeling in many years. If you're a girl human being, from the time you're about sometimes 8 years old, you feel that onslaught of male attention. And it's not always comfortable. Like, some people will listen to you if you say, I'm not, if you're trying to cut the conversation short, they will go with you. But some people just won't, either because they can't necessarily maybe adhere to social cues, or they think that that's the way to do it. But I haven't felt that feeling, that kind of wide open, exposed, vulnerable in a while, and that was not always comfortable. Guys will never step up to you if you're with your person, but if it seems like you've been alone day one, day two, oh, it might seem like you're fair game, which is okay. You know, we men and women on the planet, yes, but it's just that the feeling is not always comfortable for women. It's not always comfortable, especially when we're saying, you know how if a particular dude comes up to you, that person's a stalker, but if it's another person, you're like, oh, yeah, you know what I mean? But we have that right. Anyway, we have that right. So I do feel like your man is like a natural shield away from that really sometimes strong masculine energy that's not just coming from one person, but it's coming from many people. Many people. Men also provide. They provide, they help us pay the bills, they help us plan the trips, plan where we're going to go. And so I missed that. And they also preserve. You know, I talked about lifting the suitcase, you know, and preserving your peace of mind, you know, like saving you from a lot of unnecessary, you know, attention. You want to chill out, you don't want all that. Or you might, which takes me to point number 3, lesson number 3. Hey, did I get my groove back? You might want to have a stellar experience. If you do, Jamaica is where you need to go. You need to go, like today. I think if you grew up in the Caribbean, you know that there's an art of the flirt. There's an art of the flirt on every Caribbean island, okay? Fellas know how to rap. They know how to talk. But I think the guys in Jamaica have their PhDs. So I can see how Stella got her groove back. Because if you're looking to get your groove back, a la Stella vibes, trust me, the opportunities are rampant, okay? If you're a lady who is experiencing loss, you just broke up, you just went through a divorce, if you are single and looking to mingle, if you are suffering a little bout of something just kind of threw you off your game and, you know, you need a little self-esteem boost, go to Jamaica. So I'll share an experience with you guys. On one of the tours, so it's like 2, right? Okay. So one was trying to, you know, the sweet mouth. One was trying to get me to come buy stuff. So you know how fellas do, which is like, hey, you married? I said, because now I'm stuttering. I'm like, that's kind of a quick question. I don't really know you, my brother. You know, like, what do you mean? He said, well, if you are married, you are wifey material woman. You're wifey material. I said, well, I appreciate you, my brother. Thank you so much, my brother. Now, the next tour guide let everybody go up ahead and just kind of fall back. Even with my mask on, Jacqueline. Even with my mask on. The other tour guide, he let everybody move up. And then he just kind of hung back. He like, yeah. Jamaican accent, right? Like, yeah. You healthy. Joyce. Yeah, man. Yeah, man, you healthy. That's a healthy woman, eh? Yes. I was like, that one, that one made me laugh, okay? That one made me laugh, but I was like, and he was a straight up Rasta man too. So, you know, Rasta man don't really play games. So I was like, I appreciate that, my brother. He was a smooth operator. Yeah, man. He said, yeah, man. a woman that, yeah, you helped. I said, thank you very much. Here's your tip, and let's go. Okay? Goodbye. All right, number four. This was probably my most healing experience. And I say, what do dolphins know about joy? You know, there's actually research that shows that dolphins help to alleviate depression. The British Medical Journal, there's an article in there, November 28, 2005, that says swimming with dolphins is an effective treatment for mild to moderate depression. And their findings support the theory. Name of the theory is biophilia, which shows that human health and well-being is dependent on our relationship with the natural environment. So how we feel about nature, how we interact with nature helps to heal us, right? Or not. And so because I'm familiar with like equine therapy, which is like horse therapy, that's one of the reasons I wanted to go do the horseback riding. And, you know, dogs. If you've seen parolees, pit bulls and parolees, or parolees and pit bulls, you see how animals help people restabilize themselves. So the dolphins now, so the grief is always there. So it's almost like, you know, I'm involved in an activity, but as soon as I finish the activity, or sometimes even when I'm in the middle of the activity, I'm like, man, I'm having these intrusive thoughts where I'm like, man, I wish Camps was there. You know, if he was there, I would be doing this, or this wouldn't be happening. You know what I mean? But with the dolphin experience, they did several things. At first, they let us just kind of pat their fins and rub their heads, and then they let us go out to swim. Go out, you know, you swam out, and then the first ride I did, you saw the picture where I'm holding the fins, the dorsal fins of the dolphins, and they just pull you forward. They just that was awesome. That was awesome. But for that one, I didn't have to do much. I just had to put my hands out, right, outside and stretch it out. If you could see me, that's what I'm doing, like, really, right? Just stretch your arms out, and they come and they get you. The second activity I had to do with the dolphins, where you see me standing up, they tell you to lie flat on your stomach, put your hands out, and the dolphin's going to come at the back of your leg, like the flat of your foot. One is coming on your right, and one dolphin on your left. And the dolphins are going to lift you up. Y'all, I think the whole morning, my stomach that day was kind of raw and, I felt like kind of like jello inside, just kind of faible. Faible. I was more sad that morning than some of the other mornings. It's disorienting to not be with a person you've been with for a long time. And many people don't want to admit that especially if it's a breakup, we don't like to say it, right? But it's disorienting because for me, when I talk about masculine and feminine energy, when you're with a man, as a woman, well, for me, speak for myself, a lot of your masculine energy, you kind of release it a little bit because you don't need to hold so much of it, because the other person is naturally, their masculine energy is carrying a lot of that thing. And what are relationships for if not to kind of become one? So even if you're breaking up or the person passes, now that role they were playing is no longer being played. And so there's that void. So I could feel it in my body. I could feel myself like a weakling, really. I felt like very tender. And I'm there, I'm patting the dolphins, you know, I'm trying to be engaged, the water's nice, people are making jokes, but I'm not feeling it. And the photographer, talking about the professional photographer is taking pictures, and they asked us to go and smile by the dolphin. I go and I'm sure I'm smiling. I go back to my position. I go out, I do my swim, I come back. The photographer tells the trainer, I need to go back to take my picture. I'm like, why? What's going on? She said, I didn't see your smile. I didn't get a smile. I was sure I was smiling. So I did it. Went back to my line, went back out to swim to do my raised up, whatever. So the trainer calls me, and the trainer's looking for me, and the trainer says, she asks everybody else, where's the single lady? Where's the single lady? That's going to be in my number 5, because that contributed to the way I was feeling. It wasn't that she said, where's the single lady? My body read it as, where's the alone lady? Where's the alone lady? Oof. Oof, it hit my body. So, okay, so I make my way, I do my little swim, I go out. First attempt to stand up, let the dolphins come, you know, the flat of my feet, they put their nose right there on the flat of your feet to raise me up. Man, I just buckled down and fell down in the water. I was the only person to fall. I was like, what in the same hell is this? But I knew what it was. On the inside, I was just jello. I was just marshmallowy. And then there was a lady. Yes, I was marshmallowy. Yeah, I was just like I was like just in my very, very, when I say very feminine, I mean just softy, like just piaka. In Dominica, the word is piaka. Okay? Yes, it was piaka. I felt very disoriented, like I said, destabilized, out of dysregulated, like I couldn't find my footing. I couldn't find my footing. My Pyay Ton. Pyay Ton is your footing, your stabilization, that feeling that your feet are planted firmly on the ground and that you're safe. So that's what it was. I was feeling unsafe, very vulnerable, wide open that morning. Well, there was a nice lady right next to me, and she had done that activity first, and she was going to do the one I had done before. But she said, it's okay. She said, it's okay. Just straighten your feet firmly and just keep your feet flat and do not buckle your knees. Just straight up and just let the dolphins do their thing. And so I took her advice. She offered me some help. I took it. And I ended up with one of the highest rides that day. Yeah, I felt like I was on top of the world. I got my smile back because the activity forced me to just go like, because I felt like I was going up to heaven. Like I've never had that experience like that. Like exhilaration is what it is. It felt like, ooh, like that, right? And after that, I went to my line. The photographer called the trainer again and said, I still didn't get her smile. So I went the third time, and that's when the smile came out. That's when I came out, and that was good enough for the photographer. So what do dolphins know about joy? They know something, because I feel like they helped me find my smile back. Like to go in there, pull it up, and to find my footing, to feel that sense of groundedness or safety, because that December event just kind of threw me off my balance. So Yeah, that's what the dolphins did for me. They helped me find my balance. And they're so good. They know what to do. They just come up under your feet and just raise you. You know that song, He Raised Me Up, or You Raised Me Up? Like that. That was the feeling. You raised me up so I can stand on mountains. That kind of feeling. So that opened me up. And in the moment, I didn't really realize what was happening. But, you know, of course, after that, you know, you're thinking about the thing. And that's what that was. So, I smile back. And I feel a way stronger sense of I've got my feet underneath my body right now. And so that leads me to my biggest lesson, which is to say yes to help. So the nice lady next to me who had already done that You Raise Me Up movement, she said, it's okay. Just keep your feet flat and straighten your feet. Just straighten your legs. Do not buckle your knees. Stand firm. Keep your feet flat. And just let the dolphins do their thing. I also think it's important to ask for help. No, I am not a big ask for helper. That's one of my emotional skills I've had to work on a lot in my life. I do it a lot better now. But the thing is, life pain and trauma, I don't care who you are, the Pope, the Popess, the Queen, the King, the Prince, the whomever you are, trauma and life will knock you off balance if you live long enough. If you live long enough, it'll throw you down. Not because you're a bad person, but because you're a human being. So in December, I lost my footing. Lost my footing. That feeling of my feet underneath me. It's the understanding that I don't have to do it alone. I don't have to do it alone. And even though I haven't really been doing it alone, there is still a sense that I am, because again, it's a kind of a very unique and particular experience. So it's like, you know, you're describing it to people, but it's like, oof. And what's also been happening is, as grief and depression do, it's been tapping into other traumatic experiences and grief events. And I definitely have made a point to begin asking for help. Asking for help is my second step in manifesting, in doing, in creating, in changing things. And one way I did that on the trip is I kept being very transparent with the guides and my taxi guys. I said to myself, if they're righteous brothers, when I tell them, yo, my fiance just died, then whatever flirt energy they were coming at me with, that would shift if they were righteous. So I used it in a way to test them, to see who would back off and who might persist. And that means I would have to cut it. I can't use you anymore. I can't use you tomorrow. Because I didn't come here for me to be dealing with your stress. So, I had two great taxi drivers. The first one took me to the rafting and to the Duns River Falls. And then the second day and the third full day, I had this awesome guy called Rick the General. I'm going to post Rick's picture on Facebook and on Instagram. That's right. You say I get a boyfriend? I'm Rick. Man, Rick and I connected on a really spiritual level. You know, he's the one, he took me up to Zion, to Bob Marley's house, which was, for me, a spiritual experience because... and maybe too because of the location of the site. So all the other sites were, you know, in flat. But for Bob Marley's house, Bob's home, you gotta go, man. It's like 9 miles from like city to city, you know what I mean? Just up, in, up, in, up, in, all the way up. And you get to, well, I loved the feeling I got being where Bob was born, you know, and where he sat and wrote and slept and ate, and where his body was buried. One of the things the tour guide said to us was that they've buried Bob 6 feet above the earth. So the way they've located him, his body, it's in the crypt, but it's 6 feet above the earth. That was really spiritually grounding. Yes, I was in Zion, you know, and you felt a kind of higher vibration energy up there. So that was really beautiful, really beautiful. So yeah, Rick the General on Instagram and Facebook, he and I, we really connected on a spiritual kind of big brother level. He was very chill, very respectful. Look, me now, I have brothers on my mom's side and on my dad's side who've taken great care of me all my life. So I kept him because he was kind of like a wise brother. All right. So a couple people have actually already asked me for his information. So I have given it to them, but I will post it because seriously, he was very a wise guy, wise brother, and calm, chill, minding his business. We talk about everything, politics, religion, but he never made a flirtatious move on me, and I really appreciated that. So yeah, so Desdi, you said in Jamaica they buried their loved ones on their property. Absolutely. So his grandmother, his grandfather, in Bob's grave, his brother, one of his brothers is actually buried below him. The brother was supposedly killed in Florida. And yeah, I really love that. There's a chapel on the property. You saw the chapel with the Black Madonna on the property. It was so beautiful. The little house, you know, and the view from where you saw the Rastaman lying down on the stone. So the Rastaman said, you know, of course, you know, if you grew up in the Caribbean, you know, fellas do this all the time. They sit on the rocks, you know, we all do it. And I've done it. You sit on the stone and you might be there, the moonlight is out and you're out there just watching the stars. How many stars have you counted in your life, you know? How many moonlit nights have you been just there outside, just taking it all in? So it was a very lovely story, the way he presented it. So, oh, and I got to do a shot. I got to do the Bob Marley shot. One of my girls said, shot, 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 shots. Yeah, that was good. It wasn't, I'm strong. It was just interesting. So would I go back? Absolutely. Because it was so much fun. It was so much fun. And it felt like an infusion or an injection of joy that I really needed. I had a dream that was like a joy dream. I told one of my sisters, you know, when all people pass, they come back to us in dreams. So yeah, I got a joy dream before I went down to Jamaica, but that felt like another real boost, and it's been sticking around. It's been sticking around. It's been sticking around. And the way I know it's been sticking around is psychologists and therapists, we like to use something called the SUDS, which is a subjective units of distress scale. What that means is a very, very simple tool. You can kind of give a reading on yourself. Like you just kind of gauge where you are today. Where am I this afternoon? Where am I tomorrow? So on a scale of 0 to 10, how good are you feeling right now? You type it in the chat. On a scale of 0 to 10, how joyful do you feel, or how happy do you feel right now? Or you could say, how sad do I feel right now on a scale of 0 to 10? Right? With 0 meaning none and 10 is everything. So for me, Look, before I left, I was really struggling. That's what's up. Vanessa, you said 7, Ladisha 7. Before I left, I think I was at a -2. Like, no joke. I was at -2 because I was in a place where I couldn't, I just, it was just too much. And I was feeling like I didn't want to be in my body. I had to work very hard to stay in my body. And it was just feeling very painful, which is expected, right? It gets that way in grief. It gets that way. And I know I've given myself, and I still have given myself, like 8 weeks to just feel and not do any therapy necessarily until after that time. But I'm telling you, it was, grief is heavy, it's dark, it's a pin in the caca hole, and you really have to fight to stay engaged with your real life, that it seems like the real life is just kind of passing by you, But it's, even if you want to engage, up here, your body and your emotions are just like, they can't muster up the energy to do it. So, the first day of the river rafting, the first full day, I went home and did my little Oprah ugly cry. The day I left from home to the airport, I told my tribe, look, I did my little ugly cry. But those were the only two ugly cry experiences I had. So for me, that's a win. That's a win. And, at the Dolphin Park, of course, I felt sad, but I didn't cry. At Dunn's River, I didn't cry. I felt sad and heavy a little bit. But that river, did I jump in the river? That river is called the Blue Hole. And it's about 20-25 feet deep. At that river, I felt, that was another almost spiritual experience. Because it felt like, I don't know how to describe it, like a stillness, but like power. Like stillness, but like, because that waterfall is so powerful. I said it felt like I had a mama glow or some kind of, magical energy there, because there was some memories of the event that I had not really paid attention to, that just kept coming, and it felt it was coming and just leaving, coming and. So yeah, that was a beautiful experience. Again, I think the water and whatever the water does, whatever nature does to us, it did a lot there for me. My worst moment was in the pool when they said, "Where's the single lady?" Because again, my body and my brain heard, "Where's the alone lady?" Yeah, where's the alone lady? And I was like, oof, that's right. I am alone. Oof, yuck. Not yuck, I don't like myself, but right now it doesn't feel good to be not with your person. So, yeah, that felt painful. So and that was the worst feeling I had. It was experience. Yeah, but it was not intentional. It was just part of me too, having to deal with my reality. You got to deal with what's in front of you, because that's what's in front of you. My biggest victory was the fact that I only did 2 Oprah level ugly cries. And the first one was when I drove past the hospital, and the second one again was after the first full day. And for me, that was a win. Where am I emotionally? Like I said, I think when I left, I would put it at a -2. Today, I feel like I'm a solid 4. A solid 4, 4.5, 5, climbing up there. Okay? I even had energy to clean my plants, to pluck out the dead leaves. Those poor plants were dying. I restored my plants. I cleaned up. I had dinner with my kids, his kids. I've just been like feeling good since I came back. And there's an understanding that, even though you already know it, right? But I feel like my body's feeling it too. Like, I'll get there. My next steps are to start grief counseling next week and more travel therapy. More travel therapy, because I'm telling you, that worked. That helped me a lot. My encouragement to you, because in Dominica we say "Samoué du vent et saudeye." What that means in English is mine is in front, but yours is coming. Why? It's not a threat. This is just a reality of life. It's nature. It's the human experience, right? My encouragement to you when life kicks you in the butt, or if life is kicking you in the butt right now, if you forget what I'm saying to you tonight, come back to the page and listen to it. Yeah? Regardless of what's happening around you, your task is to stabilize yourself. Your biggest task, your highest mission, is to find what stabilizes you. Because the thing is, it does feel like your knees buckle. It feels like it cuts you off at the knees and you just kneel down, you just fall down. But you want to find your Pyay Ton. You want to find your footing. And everybody's is different. For me, I travel and I listen to a lot of music, or I meditate, or I talk to my friends, to my sisters. That stabilizes me. But you stabilize yourself by taking positive action. Many times we try to stabilize ourselves by taking negative action. We drink a little extra, we smoke a little more, we have unprotected sex with random willy-nilly people who are offering, right? We spend too much money. That's action, but that's negative action. You want to take a positive action. And sometimes it's not just one, because depending on the impact of the trauma, one is not enough, and you need something like big cannonball level energy replacement. Okay? You have to find what stabilizes you. So is it water? That works for me, right? Sea, river, long baths with Epsom salt, standing by the lake, walking around the lake. That helps me. Is it nature? Is it sitting in the moonlight? Is it going to the sea? Is it fishing? Is it dancing? Is it art? Is it food? Cooking, baking. But the things I'm saying involve action. You have to do something. You have to do something. You have to do something. Okay? There's a theory that we choose our life path, meaning before we come here, we choose that our life is going to have XYZ drama or no drama, right? We're going to be rich or we're going to struggle. Well, if that theory is right, maybe I chose a path that requires, that includes, let's say, that kind of resistance, that kind of heavy-hitting trauma, yeah? And that is fine. That is okay. But that's my life path, and that's okay. I'm okay with that, because what that does for me anyway, or in my life, is it brings out my shine. It hurts like hell, but it brings out my shine eventually, right? The side effect, though, is that sometimes you can be in your head a lot and you think too much, or you walk as if the other shoe's going to drop in the world, or you keep yourself kind of closed off from people. I'm saying to investigate, get quiet, pray, talk to the God of your understanding, to figure out your path in life. Figure out your thing, your purpose. Look for themes in your life. and see what the positive value is of that. Is there a recurring theme in your life? And sometimes it's not your fault. Like for me, like I didn't cause the boat to sink with my mom, you know. I didn't cause the kid's dad to die. I didn't cause my fiance to die, you know. It's just that that's how life has presented itself. But however life is presenting itself, again, there's some things we look for, but some things that just come upon us. I'm really specifically talking about those things that come to you when you're not even looking for it, right? Like try to find the what is in that kind of situation for me, right? For me. What can I use this to do to make myself get closer to my source, to my God of my understanding, to people, to myself, okay? And if you're listening tonight, you're supposed to be here listening tonight. You're supposed to hear this. I'm saying that time is not on your side. Time is not on your side to figure this out. It's not, because it goes by faster than any of us want to admit. When I was writing my book, I had a marketing person who said, you know, I don't know if you want to say it like that. I don't know if you want to say it like life is short. I was like, but it is short. Like, everybody knows it, you know, and today they died and tomorrow I die, because that's what we do here. That's what we're doing here. So your job, because you don't have time, and the time is not yours to play with, it's not yours. If there is something on your heart to do, mon cher, do it now. If there's something you have to do, do it now. Stop dilly-dallying, stop playing with your life. Stop playing with your life, and stop playing perhaps with the lives of the other people you're supposed to help. Because some of you have a mission, you have a calling to help other people, but you're in your head too much. Okay, you're in your head too much. Just do it. You're feeling too anxious, and you're like, oh, my anxiety is so big, I don't know. I'm telling you, behavioral activation, do it now. In spite of what you're thinking, in spite of what you're feeling. That's my message for tonight. I'm going in my bed and sleep. Now I'm being silly. But, you know, I'm really asking you to hear me. Find your stabilizer, because you're going to need it. Find your stabilizers. Because I was thinking, yeah, let me just, 8 weeks, let me just chill, slow down, don't do much work, that'll be enough to get me kind of, no ma'am. I'm telling you, I was feeling like at a -2, okay? I needed bigger, like more input, more energy input, more positive energy input. And I'm going to keep needing a lot, like big, heavy dose, heavy quantity, heavy intensity energy input. Your job, your assignment, your homework is to find out what yours is. And like I say, one of my stabilizers is travel. So if I have health and wealth and strength, I'm going. And I'm also going to start counseling, do grief counseling. So I am very grateful to you all for joining in and listening and sharing. Grief, Nato, you on the live. Grief is always there with us until it does what it's got to do. The rest of you who are going through a grieving and recovery experience right now, it's not far. It's never far, but St. Paul said something about having a thorn in his flesh, a little that keeps him close, it keeps him grounded, and keeps him trying to do better. So I'm using mine as a thorn in my flesh, right? And I'm not always going to be perfect with it, but I'm telling you, I'm definitely going to try. Yeah. And I'm going to invite you to do the same, because not one of you on here can tell me you don't sense the unpredictability of life, especially now in the times that we're living. Not one of you. So the question is, if tonight was your night to transition, would you be okay? As in comfortable, complete, like, all right, I've done what I needed to do for myself and for the world, for whomever. Really, I think that's the question, because the rest of the stuff is just kind of, like I said, buffoonery, you know? Like, did I buy the right pair of shoes? It's kind of buffoonery in the end, right? I like a nice pair of shoes too, but okay? Time is not on your side. And if there's something you need to do it now. Take a positive action. Take a positive action. It doesn't matter what you feel, doesn't matter what you think about it. You're going to have to act, and only you can do it. Okay? Ask for help. Read the book. Do it now. It's on Amazon, like $20. Look, I'm telling you, all you need is one good idea. One good idea you can hold on to and run with it. Okay? One good idea and run with it. Just grind it, grind it, grind it, grind it, grind it. Do it, do it, do it, do it, do it, do it. Okay? You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to be good at everything. Vanessa, congratulations on your book. You know, the rest, there are many people with books in them, books and books and books in them, and you're just hesitating. Done is better than perfect. Done is better than perfect. So, that business you're about to start, you've been just ring-a-ling, rolling it around in your head, hoping for somebody to help you. You don't need anybody's help. You've got to start. You've got to start. Often, we have to make an action. Yeah, you got to do something for life to say, okay, that person is serious. And then help starts flooding in. But if you just stay in the small state of, I call it constriction, where you're just in your head, in yourself, yes, and you just worry yourself to death, and you talk yourself bad, you talk yourself down, like, knock it off. You are big and bold, and you have so much to offer. And a lot of people are waiting just for you to do it and say it, because they cannot hear it from me. They cannot, as much as I can talk, or I like to talk these days, if they hear it from me, it's not going to impact them. They need you. So that means what? You have to say yes. You have to say yes. Okay? Yeah, Vanessa, you're writing 3 books right now. I'm telling you, don't stop. Do not stop. Okay? So, I, at 8:03, again, want to say thank you. Thank you all for coming. I saw Havis on the live. Havis, I'm going to be with Havis in February. Havis, you'll tell, what date is it, Havis? During Black History Month. Look, Black History Month, every month is Black History Month. I love you too, Vanessa. Every month is Black History Month, okay? But I understand the system we live in. Yeah, February 15th, I'm going to be with Havis. On Tuesdays with Terrence. So if you don't follow him yet, follow him. So you can join us. On the 27th, I think, I'm going to be talking with Dr. Sabra Luke. So I'm back to doing some work. I'm not falling back into work like 100%, but I'm back into, I have the energy, I feel the energy to start doing more. So again, thank you all for showing up. I promise you that if you learn to think better, you're going to feel better and you're going to do better. But all of that, I think is best expressed when we're connected to divine source. Okay? When we're connected to divine source. So don't try to do it alone, because you're finite and just mortal. It means you have an end and you break. So tap into what is bigger than you, wiser than you. Prayer, meditation, alone time, fasting, whatever it is you got to do. Eliminate in 2022 people who drain you from your positive energy. Snip, snip. Like, just refuse to talk to them if they're pulling too much out of you. Just refuse to engage people who need too much of you, because you need that much of you. Just snip. And or if you don't want to snip, just back. Just do this. Just okay? Like, just refuse to engage with things that pull out your positive energy. You need it for yourself, and the people who need you to have all your positive energy. Okay? Vanessa, I would love to do a live with you tomorrow. Just text me and I will say yes. Because seriously, I do feel like we're running out of time, and it's like almost as if because we're running out of time, it's more pressure. Like one of the Dominican DJs, DJ Easy, on one of his recordings, there's a little kid who's like, more fire. Yeah, you all know that. So it's almost like the pressure is rising. And so the stuff that's coming at you, it's not going to slow down. So what does that mean? You're going to die? You're going to just buckle down? Yeah, right? And give in? No. You really got to go higher. You got to go higher. And I'm so grateful to the Dolphins for helping me reconnect with that, like to connect with that, because I promise you I wasn't feeling it. So yes, y'all, I'm going to say good night, and again, thank you. I wish you all the best. Abundance is your divine right. Let's make it happen together. Peace.